So welcome to our Sunday Meditation Town Hall. Lovely to see everyone. I'm just going to throw this up on the screen really quick, just as a reminder. So on November 13th, this is a really special session. It's all the questions you've ever wanted to ask Lama, you get him at your disposal. And this is something you have to sign up for. You can't just show up. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the chat and you can register there. And we also have our next session for the Meditation Town Hall. I'm sorry, the next session for the masterclass next week. And I'll put that link in the chat as well. And I think, Lama Surya, have you joined us? Thought I saw him there. All right, everyone. I see Lama has joined us. Welcome, Lama.
Oh.
He's an apparition. I can't find him.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, dear
Beautiful
Lama.
day it is. Can you hear me, Menla? Very good. Thank you. Nice to see you alls. Oh, look who's there. There's Maharaji. Oh, well. You never know who's going to show up from the invisible array. Just beaming right in. Look, there's Fiona, John Randall, all of my old friends. Steve Ledoux, Andres, Eddie and Jan Haubin. Holy mackerel. In their new house. Look how beautiful that window is, Eddie. Nice to see you alls. It's a beautiful Sunday, a day of rest. We can drop all our worldly preoccupations and efforts. And you know, Buddhism, meditation, yoga, unification, let's say, can sound a little complex, but what it comes down to is so simple. We're a little complex, so we need some complexity, some help, some upaya, as we call it in Buddhism, skillful means and methods. But actually, it all comes down to one thing. If we could be that simple, but it's a little steep or abstract, it's called just being. On the day of rest, can we stop doing and just being? That's a challenge. Since we already are, how to be? That's a lifelong question, balancing doing and being, and not being lost in the doings. So let's come back to ourselves and to just being and see how that be, how that is. It's called thusness or isness in Mahayana Buddhism. Tathagata Garbha, Sugata Garbha, as it is-ness. I know it sounds like English, but it's also not like English. Isness, suchness, just beingness, which we all are already, which is the message of the natural great perfection, not just getting from here to there, but from here to totally here, 100% here, 200% here, rather than be only 10% using our brain, as science tells us, or living at a short distance from our body, as James Joyce put it, or living in our head, as is so often said, but not easily rebalanced. coming down from the conning tower, the ivory tower, from our head into our heart, into our solar plexus, into our navel chakra, our hara, our belly, into the ground, grounding ourselves. Menla, what is it you crazy wisdom yoga teachers say? Breathe through your butt, connect with the earth. I call it alignment. Isn't there a string, a silver string that goes from the zenith to the nadir, right through our spinal column, aligning with what's there already, sitting on your Buddha seat, assuming your Buddha seat. That was the subject of our last master class. Assume your Buddha seat. Who do you think you're not? Just being. Who can be that simple, present, awake, attentive, free of preoccupations like wanting and diswanting, attraction and aversion, or just ignoring, just vagueness. Who can be that present? Look at Leslie McLean. She's got the point. She's connected from the nadir. I forget which is on top, but it doesn't matter because it's circular. I'm sure the zenith and the nadir. The axis, the still axis at the center of the axle of the turning wheel of the universal mandala, the cosmos, the whole. The whole, not just emptiness, but shunyata, the plenum void, the effulgent void, the womb of all, the womb of the Buddhas, shunyata, the donut hole we can really actually get our teeth into, not just an empty hole. Go to Dunkin' Donuts, you can get donut holes. It ain't nothing. They're delicious. That's shunyata. And it even has different flavors, infinite flavors, the 10,000 things, as the Chinese put it. Anyway, I digress. I warble. I divagate. Just being. That's the secret of Mahamudra, of Dzogchen, of Advaita Vedanta, non-dual Vedanta, of just being. But who can be that simple? We want to do, we want to become, we want to achieve, which is an important part of growing up as we individuate from the umbilical cord stage to dependent child, to independent teenager, but not stopping there in a state of arrested development of always having to be independent or do the opposite of what they tell you to do. Going from independence to autonomy within interdependence, not just reactivity, but autonomous within interdependence. And if that's too abstract, how about just being? How about just sitting, just breathing, allowing being to proceed unhindered, unfettered by preconceptions, preoccupations, neither fascinated nor jaded and bored, friendly, curious. It's one of the aspects of the ancient beautiful word for mindfulness. We call mindfulness in English sati, smriti, a friendly, open interest, attentive, interested in whatever momentarily presents itself, whatever arises in the body-mind continuum in the present moment. Open, friendly, allowing, awareful, interested, just being. Being is a little subtle, so just being present. How about that? Being present, still subtle. How about being aware, attentive, presence of mind, attentive presence, luminous, incandescent presence even, focused and aware. Now there's some work to do. We love to do things, let's do that. Just incandescently present and aware. Look at Glenda, Sparky, she's so practically transparent. Over there in God's waiting room, Florida. A chat off the old block, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm in a good mood today. It's Sunday, day of rest. I can take rest from watching the World Series and the football, Thursday night football and Saturday college football with Jack Engler and Sunday football. Oh, today's Sunday. Well, some football might intrude. Just resting in the view, nothing more to do. The Patriots aren't even playing, so I don't have to root for one team or another. Just equanimously enjoy whatever arises in the body-mind continuum in the present moment. It's all sport, divine play, Leela, Welpa in Tibetan, Leela in Sanskrit, Maya Leela, Maya Devi's Leela, the great goddess's sport or display, dance, just enjoying the show. That's why the Shura Dzogchen teachings, Imaho. Wondrous, amazing, far out. Oi, Imaho. Nowhere to go. Right here and now. Ain't it? Business. It ain't nothing. It's really something, ain't it? Like the donut hole of Shunyata, we can really get our teeth into that. It has so many flavors. All sweet, beyond good and bad, sweet and sour, salty. One taste. One of the Dzogchen slogans, great equanimity, one taste, single savor. Based on the Buddha's famous saying, as the many oceans have the single savor of salt, my Dharma in the beginning, in the middle, and the end has the single savor of liberation. So liberate yourself, friends. Imaho. Just being. Buckle up, here we go. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. Now these are the specific instructions. That was all the philosophy. Maybe you're standing. Let's translate. Just standing, just breathing, just being. Maybe you're standing on your head in the corner because you're a yoga practitioner. Just standing on your head, just breathing, just being. That will do. Or lying down. Try not to fall asleep. Just lying, just breathing, just being, or just walking. That's how we do walking meditation. Just walking step by step, aware of each step. Just walking, breathing, being aware, present, attentive, lucidly present and aware, incandescently present, attentive, pure, unadulterated attention is the heart of mystic prayer, as Simone Weil says, the French mystic. Beyond Buddhism, Rennism, pure, undiluted, unadulterated attention, pure presence. Thus the Rinpoche sang, Tatai Shepa Rigpa Soma Jempa in Yiddish. Nowness awareness, the true, unfabricated, naked Buddha within. The Buddha nature, nowness, isness, beingness. That's why we practice Dzogchen and Mahmud with eyes open, ears open, nose open, mouth open. Yes, go a little gaga, let go of reference points. Breathe through your mouth, as a wise Lama once told me, rather than through your two nose holes, one mouth hole, approaching oneness. Ah, beyond oneness and noneness. Ah. This breath, only breath, this moment as if only moment. The fourth fraction, Shicha, beyond past, present, and future, linear, sequential, relative, conventional time. Just now, the fourth fraction, the fourth time, the holy now. Divine time, as the Christian mystics call it. Timeless time, just now. Nowness awareness, not visualizing, not mantra chanting, not fabricating, just, have I said it before, aware of whatever presents itself, whatever arises in the body-mind continuum in the present moment. That's Dzogchen meditation, Mahamudra, the ultimate stance, the big picture, the natural great perfection. Just looking, seeing, and allowing or freeing. Just experiencing, recognizing, releasing. 3 steps to inherent freedom of being, 3 in 1, almost simultaneously. Looking, seeing, freeing. The arising, falling, the appearing, dissolving, all at once. The endless waves on the infinite sea of being. Waves or no waves, same sea. Moving mind, still mind, same nature of mind. Pure awareness, pure presence, pure being with a capital B plus. Awareness with a capital A plus. See? And enjoy the buoyance, the freedom, the openness and awareness inseparable, the relaxation of the natural state or the natural way of just being right now. And how. Imaho. Way to go. Yes, thank you. Enjoy the natural meditation. Seeing through, being through. Structured Dzogchen meditation right now. Imaho. I love it. Thank you. Vaga. Oh. Eyes open, ears open, nose open, heart and mind open, awareful, mindful, attentive, non-reactive, pure presence, awareness, aware of breathing out while breathing out, aware of the in-breath while inhaling, breathing in, and letting everything else go by, all the flotsam and jetsam on the stream of consciousness, the river of experiencing, letting it go by without giving into attraction or aversion. They may arise, but without giving into it or following it. Awareness, aware of awareness, non-compartmentalized, non-dual, self-recognition, mirror-like awareness, just reflecting, not analyzing and thinking about it, just a mirror-like, momentary, formless, dreamlike reflections in the mirror, magic mirror of mind, infinite mirror of Shunyata, spacious, lucid awareness, spacious clarity, focused, eye gazing, sky gazing. There's no I in sky. Ah, how sweet it is. Eyes open, ears open, nose open, mouth open. Gaga. Let go of reference points. Mouth open, throat open, chest open, heart and mind totally open, relaxed, decontracted, at ease, yet attentive. Awareness alone. Cultivate, recognize naked awareness, innate wakefulness, not fabricated, temporary, mere states of mind. Naturalness is the way of the natural great perfection, Dzogchen. It's not outer objects which entangle us, Naropa. It's inner clinging and fixation which entangles us, as Talopa sang. So let go. Let come and go. That's the secret. Let be. Letting be as is. Rest in the view. Trust and rely on the view. Rely on letting be. Allowing. Open. Spacious. Friendly and interested. Lucidly present and attentive. Free. Imahi. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Mantra number 3. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Oh mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Mani padme hori. Oh 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 mani padme oh mani padme hori. 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 Can we see the prayer page with the Bodhisattva prayers on it? The 4 prayers of the Bodhisattva from the Japanese, etc. That's, oh, no. Okay, that will do. May all beings possess happiness and the inner causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering. May all remain undivided from the sacred joy, free from suffering. May all come to rest in great peace, harmony, equanimity, beyond attachment and aversion to friends, enemies, or strangers. And the Millennium Prayer, please. Thank you. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression, an end to greed and cruelty, pandemics, famines, droughts, earthquakes, all kinds of natural disasters. May we be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. And may we better prepare ourselves for the natural calamities that beset us all. And may we all together complete this gorgeous, elevating spiritual journey. One beloved community, one circle, one family, one sangha, one satsang, all the way home. Happy Halloween, everybody. Time to unmask. Perhaps we've forgotten the masks. We've donned the persona. Time to unmask. one of the three facts of life or characteristics of existence according to Buddha's basic teachings of anicca, anatta, and dukkha, impermanence, no separate permanent self, and dissatisfactoriness of all impermanence of things. Anicca, anatta, dukkha, anatta, no atma, no separate permanent soul, self, or identity, addresses this question. It's a subtle question, it's a difficult question, it's an ancient existential, about existence, or philosophical, lover of truth question. In English, in American, in modern day, we often hear, we say, so-and-so, that child, that teenager, that young adult is just finding themselves. That sounds good. We know what we're talking about, but we also don't. It's very hard to define what finding yourself is about. The father of Western philosophy, Socrates, his whole marvelous teaching encapsulated or written down later by his disciple Plato and then Aristotle. I think I got that right. Socrates said, know thyself. So this is an ancient, timeless, evergreen question, existential question about existence, existential question about meaning, purpose, existential question. What did that big ham say, Hamlet? To be or not to be, is that the main question? Something like that. You know, who am I? Who are we? What's the relationship between God and human, as they used to say, God and man? What's the relationship? Who are we in the light of the bigger context, the cosmos, the infinite, the eternal, the timeless, whatever? Just grains of sand in the universal Ganges River? Just small cogs in the wheel of the factory owners or even robber barons of the universe, emperors, tsars, etc. Who and what are we, and what is our place individually and collectively? Even the species, excuse me, is just one part of it all, of all beings. Human beings are not the totality of the beings. So many beings, sentient beings, beings that have some consciousness or something, living things, sentient beings. And then what about the plants? What about the viruses and bacteria who are sort of in between? So who and what are we? What are we to make of this life? It seems long at times. It seems interminable when we're in grade school waiting for the bell to ring, or the weekend, or Christmas, or summer vacation. It seems long when we're in junior high school, in high school waiting to get out, whatever that means, and go somewhere away, college, see the world, I don't know what. Always waiting. When are we going to stop waiting? I don't know if it's my age or what, but lately I've been hearing myself say it's too late to wait. And also it's too early to hurry. Why hurry? So what is our purpose and meaning here? Who are we? Are we a separate being like the bubble in the sea? Or are we part of the sea like the bubble in the sea, you see? I saw a wonderful cartoon the other day. I wish I could show it to you. On the left, it showed something like this, of like tubes, or it's black and white drawings. On the left side there were straws. On the left side there were 4 holes, and on the right side there were 3. Like Gödel's drawings of what's his name's. Can't remember anything anymore. being and not being, both and neither, yin and yang together, inseparable, not separate apart like a chocolate, like that cookie that I can never remember the name on, the black and white, it's half white and half vanilla and chocolate, black and white. Yin and yang, inseparable, like the worm Ouroboros. Now we have Dune take off on the worm Ouroboros, eating its tail and getting what, bigger or smaller, the universe consuming itself and flourishing, finding itself delicious, nourishing, not looking elsewhere, not waiting for it to come down from above. The artist has to find their own voice, first imitating and learning the craft, then getting in touch with the muse, then finding one's own voice, whatever that means. Growing up and finding oneself, self-inquiry, knowing thyself, looking into who am I, what am I, can be very helpful. It's an ancient spiritual practice. If you want some instruction, some details, you can find it in some of my books. You can look up Ramana Maharshi's little book, Self-Inquiry. He's the classic master of India of the last century, Ramana Maharshi from South India, Mount Arunachala, where he lived in a cave, where he was enlightened. Or more modern days, I Am That by Nisargadatta Maharaj. I Am That, look it up. It's a great book about self-inquiry, how to look into who am I, what am I, who's asking the question, who's trying to meditate and control the mind, and so on. This is part of Wushen foundational practices in the Dzogchen tradition, subtle discernment, Wushen, discerning between small self and transpersonal being, supreme self, between mind with a small m, conceptual intellectual mind with a small m, and Buddha mind with a capital M, as the Zen books call it, mind with a capital M, Buddha mind, beyond conceptual mind. Yes, thou art that, Tatwam Asi, as it says in the ancient Hindu scriptures. Thou art that. The book in English is called I Am That. We just saw it flash on the screen by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Just Google I Am That. And that means you, not me. I. The great I, the transpersonal being, not the little limited self-concept, the mask that we've donned for this marvelous holiday called life. Yet we forget we put on the mask and we start to identify it and we think we're an ugly old hag of a witch or a bitch or whatever we've heard, whatever we've believed. But it's just a costume. Who are we really? That's the question. Many bubbles one see, etc. You don't even have to pop the bubble to return to the sea. Just see through oneself and separateness and be free. I have a whole book about this called Make Me One with Everything. Buddhist meditations to see through the illusion of separateness. Check it out. Make Me One with Everything. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to say it's the only book I know of that has it as the title, the punchline of a joke. I'm going to repeat Make Me One with Everything in case you don't know the joke. Most people do, so I'm not going to spend time telling you. Recognizing the Buddha within, always awake, not just awakening it, the Buddha within. Taking off the mask of suffering, existential, neurotic, dissatisfied, postmodern thinker. Le Penseur, Rodin's scratching your head, kind of bankrupt accountant statue. Le Penseur, the thinker. And be the beer. You don't even have to sit cross-legged like the Buddha. Just naturalness is the way, the beer, not just the thinker. Life is so much bigger going on outside as well as inside the brain and the head and thinking. We modern people are thinkaholics. We're addicted to thinking, and there's a lot of pleasure in it. But just like you can't punch your way out of a paper bag with one hand, you can't think your way out of the situation you've thought your way into, as they say. So self-inquiry is a great practice, looking into the nature of self, self and other. Not just Freud's ego, what's the progression? Id, ego, and superego. but going further into transpersonal being, multifaceted self. I contain multitudes, as the poet sings, and so on. The sublime self, the supreme self of the Vedas. I am that. Tatvam Asi, thou art that. Not just you with your limited self-identity, but thou. That's why it's translated that way. Thou art that. I, thou. Namaste. Not I, it, I want it, I don't want it. Not objectifying everybody and everything. I, thou. Seeing the light in everyone and everything. Being the light in everyone and everything, including oneself. Seeing in the mirror of emptiness all the beautiful donut holes. So there's a lot we could say about this. You could read about it, think about it. It's a great practice. The first Nobel Prize winner, poet Rabindranath Tagore of India, of the great Bengali culture of Calcutta area, Bengal, India. Tagore said, when you know yourself, you know God and relationship of God and human. So know thyself. It's an ancient mantra. It's an ancient exhortation beyond Eastern and Western religion and secular Buddhism and other isms. Imitation of Christ, classic middle-aged Christian mystical book by Thomas à Kempis, I think. Imitation of Christ doesn't just mean imitating him like a plastic Jesus on the dashboard of a New York taxi. It means recognizing the Christos, the light in oneself and in everyone, and being thus, as you already are. Yes. So I wonder if anybody has any questions today. Did anybody send any in? I seem to have filled up the time.
I think we may be out of time for questions, but the good news is on November 13th, we have an Ask the Lama session, and you can ask all of your questions. The link is in the chat. And I also just want to encourage you to consider donating to the Dzogchen Foundation. You know, back in the day, we had to travel quite far to have access to teachings like this, and Lama shows up for us every week. And so anything you can give, every dollar counts to help the foundation keep this going. I like to think of it as like, you know, if I'm taking a yoga class and I'm spending $15 a week on a yoga class. So again, every little bit counts. So thank you, Lama, so much for everything always. We love you.
Thank you, Kelly, dear Kelly, Menla, Pete, Arshish, and all of you. Too many to name, but I see you. Don't think I don't.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Love to one and all. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Have fun.